stone cutters. Yalla! Maybe you could come nearer with bringing the cutter.
ايوه من اشتغل اشتغل هرب كده
اضرب يا يحيى
استوي ادوس على راسك.
We can go down there too, John.
all right
This is quite hard.
عندي انا صغار
ممكن صورة.
See, that's the...
روح اشتغل على صورة لا انت لنا صغار
Can you show them the box?
Oh, yeah. وين هي؟ ما قد سلمنا الاثنين بس بدلوا يزعل مسجله البروة يتي لنا صورة ده فين الصور هذا؟ من هذا قال بشع صورة كربه عند العزين ها وين العقلة؟ كل واحد اشتغل انا عاد حنبقى عن هيا جلاس اشتغل ماما يا كلامك نسمع عم محمد عبد الله
شوف الصورة الكاميرا بس معنا
صديق لازم صور
لازم صور بعدين صور ما ايوه
تعال نشوف هنا تعال نشوف لا تدبجوش
لا قاعد ندبج
بتجيني واحد تعال كلام والله اي والله
في كذا
ما هو الرجال
Two faces which are squared, and the back is the irregular part, which is built into the wall. So this part is very accurately cut. And normally the other stones only have one face cut. This is a cornerstone, so it has two faces. Here you have one stone, one face. That's a typical one. We can also see the other stone cutters who are working with the other colour stone.
all right
This is a very hard stone. This is called habash.
where does it come from
It's well from the nearby, not too far. It's called habash stone. It has a sort of lava origin.
You want to put it on here?
With photography, it's such a long-winded process.
well it's always great like just to show them immediately you know
They appreciate that then.
there really is I wasn't being facetious about it not being picture taking you know you can give it that
لازم صورة هنا غضوة
over here
Yeah. This is the other stone. This is the whiter stone they're cutting. I don't know if we can get too easily. It's a bit,
yeah
I don't want to drop the stuff.
well I can get through I can
Maybe we
trip
can
over
go-
there sure
With all that equipment, you know. This is all the raw material. A lot of it is raw material and some waste. See, here's the whiter stone. This is easier to cut.
Here's the Hajar Briti.
Yeah. Yeah.
صورة تمام. ايوه محمد عبدو. لا ضربك صورة. اشتغل ملك.
اشتغل الله يلعنك. اشتغل.
واحد هذا كم دقيقة؟
هذا في يوم
Stones in one day, each man.
13.
30.
30.
50
30.
30
لكن قال تبصر. انا ما قلت هو يبصر.
من
ايوه بكره صورة. تعال. And where does this stone come from?
من فين الحجر؟
في جبل دمار.
دمار.
لا البيضاء.
البيضاء من فين؟
سنحان.
في سنهان حباش دمار. دمار.
من صنعاء.
هذا سنحان.
نو.
سنهان.
لا سنهان.
سنهان.
ايه مش صنعاء سنهان.
Cut stone.
لا.
What kind of stone is this?
It's a limestone. And the black stone is a lava. We might go round the other side because the sun is on that side.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you something about the design of these windows. There's been some changes during construction. And this is another example of how we work here.
Well, we could do it up closer,
Yes.
out, a little bit out of the sun if you
Yes.
wanted to talk about this side.
Yeah, there's another, one of the problems, or at least the things in the Yemen is the size of windows. The Yemen is very keen on big windows. And on the previous jobs that I did, I made narrow windows because they're more flexible. And I can show you this in the other institute.
Aha.
But they don't like narrow windows, they like wide windows. And so the original design for this had different window design. But this was a change that occurred, you know, during the process. And this is typical also of the way we are working here, you know, with the design becomes a bit fluid. The problem is that these windows are so wide that there's no possibility of changing the room sizes. You have to have rooms of these fixed sizes. But if you have windows narrower, then you have more flexibility. You can make a room with 1 window, 2 windows, 3 windows, or 4 windows, or 5 windows. So you get more flexibility in the use of space. But this wasn't important for them, and they insisted on, for appearance and for prestige, and because Yemen is like wide windows, to have this treatment of the elevation. So these are just things that can't be controlled. I mean, normally the architect makes a design and it's fixed. But during the process of work, we find that discussions are occurring continually that they're wanting to change things.
Well, do you feel that as the technology sort of increases and becomes more and more dominant, that it'll have a profound effect on this sort of aesthetic that they have having to do with the window?
I think that they will take into account more the need for functional use of space. At the moment, they're not worried too much about that. And there's a tremendous lot of waste space in a building like this, because the actual spaces haven't been designed for their purpose, but except as general spaces for offices. But I'm sure that as technology develops, then you will get this need for more functional approach to design. But I hope that they won't lose the existing qualities in the building. They still can combine them.
Right?
Yeah, this is the Institute of Public Administration.
When was this done?
Started in 1973, I think. 74. Yeah, 73. This entrance is the stonework we designed, but the doors were provided locally, not part of the drawings. This stonework is slightly rougher finish than in the Ministry of Justice. They call this half-cut stone. The Ministry of Justice has a full cut stone. It's much smoother. So here you have a slightly wider joint in the stonework. But also the stone is slightly more yellow. It's not such a white stone. It comes from a different quarry. But the black stone is the same, from Damar, the Habash. The building is basically 4 blocks enclosing a central courtyard. In the middle of each block there's a central corridor which runs all the way round. We come through, we can look out into the courtyard and you can get an idea of the extent of the building. This black jointing was a mistake. Suddenly they've made the joints black inside.
You mean on the, just changed all of a sudden.
Then we come out into the courtyard.
Over here.
Eventually it's intended to make an upper floor on the other 3 sides.
You don't have any schedule on that?
No, depends on future money availability. We can walk across the courtyard to the other side. Again, the layout of the ground should have been completed. It wasn't, and suddenly we found them putting in these flower beds or paths, I don't know what. So that had to be stopped because it was completely not coordinated with the design.